Tomo, and tonight we're talking FIRE. Financial independence, retire early. This is an investing channel, so I am part of this movement a little bit. But tonight I'm going to tell you the things I do like about this movement and the things that I don't like about this movement or that I have issues with as this movement. Keep in mind, quick disclaimer, not a licensed financial advisor. This video is for educational entertainment purposes only. Now, the part that I do like about the FIRE movement is financial independence, or I like to say financial education. And let's look at some really scary statistics. 1 in 5 Australians have less than $100 in their savings account. So if a big bill came in, 1 in 5 Australians would have less than $100 in their bank account. Time's a little bit tough at the moment. Really high cost of living. This statistic is a little bit scary. Let's look at a few more. Millions of Australians won't be able to afford retirement, meaning they, throughout their working life, they have not had enough money put away in their superannuation to be able to afford to be able to retire. Let's take a look at something else. Tough retirement reality for Aussie revealed as 74-year-old with $100,000 reveals while she is still working at the age of 74. And she explains that it's a high cost of living pressure. So the thing that I do like about the FIRE movement, or we call financial independence part, let's talk about the financial independence part first, is that most people, most Australians, most people generally don't really have a financial understanding, don't have basic financial skills and financial understanding. And because of that, when it comes time to retire, when it comes time to enjoy life, they're unable to enjoy the retirement or enjoy the life that they really want or that they really deserve as well. So the first part that's really important that I do like about this movement is financial literacy or financial independence. And that's the whole goal of my YouTube channel, is to try and help people learn, to try and educate people on how to improve their financial position. So they can improve it now in the short term and more importantly, when they get longer. Now, if you just rely on your income, if you just rely on your salary and wages for your entire life, which is a lot of people do that, then the only way to really grow wealth is either to work harder, to take up secondary jobs, or to get a pay rise. Those are the only things when you're relying on your salary and wages, when you're relying on your income, those are really the only ways to improve the current position that you're in at the moment. And that's really tough because some of those things, changing jobs, if you have to change jobs, that's not always viable. Okay, if you can't travel, if you can't transport, if you lift your family up and move somewhere else, you can't always change jobs easily. And waiting for a promotion, you're putting your success, you're putting your financial livelihood in the hands of someone else. And I think that's a big risk. So if you just don't want to rely on your financial wages, if you don't want to rely on your salary and wages to grow wealth, what else can you do? Well, what I teach on my channel is teach you how to invest, teach you how to build passive income streams, teach you how to buy income producing assets that will grow in value, that will pay you dividends, and then will pay you passive income. That's the really important part. That is a key way in growing your wealth and improving your financial position. I'll leave a link in the description down below of some videos where I'm teaching you how to invest, but let's take a look at some other helpful graphs here. So this is simply a compound interest calculator. I'll leave a link to this in the description as well. And what's really important is when you're investing is not, it's been said 1,000 times, it's not timing the market, not trying to find the exact right time to invest. It's time within the market or time in the market. Let's say that you're able to invest $100 a week. That's $400 a month. And you start that when you're 20 years old. Starting young is really, really key in this FIRE financial independence movement. So 30 years, the ages from 20 to 60, we'll say. So we'll say 40 years, investing $100 a week in the Australian stock market, and the Australian stock market has an average return of around 13% per annum. Let's take that back and let's go around 8% just to be safe. What does that turn into after a lifetime of investing? Let's have a look. So after 40 years, that turns into $1.2 million. $1.2 million. That's nothing to laugh at. This is not even including your superannuation. You still have your superannuation. But by having financial literacy and understanding the kinds of returns that you can get, by investing in the stock market, you could have $1.2 million by the time you reach retirement age. That's massive. That's absolutely massive. Now let's see what it does if you start later, if you start in your 30s, 10 years later. Start in 30s. Let's see what that number looks like now. It's halved. $500,000 just by starting 10 years later. So what is really key in investing and learning to grow your wealth is starting as soon as you can, starting as young as you can, investing regular amounts in the stock market, investing regular amounts in the ASX 200 as a whole, compounding that wealth, and look at the kinds of numbers that you can get after a lifetime. As I said, you've got to try and find some money. You've got to try and use your income to invest in and grow passive wealth. That's one of the key things of the FIRE movement. Use your earned income, the income that you earn from your salary and wages, and invest that in other assets that are going to appreciate in value, or they're going to pay you passive income. So that's a really good graph that I wanted to show you. I'll leave some links in the description around some videos where I teach you how to invest. Investing is very, very easy nowadays. With the advent of smartphones and apps, anyone can invest right from the palm of your hand. So that's the first thing I wanted to cover off on the FIRE movement. So I like, and I think it's really good, financial independence, financial literacy. We need to really educate ourselves on how money works and how that will benefit us for the long run if we want to have a nice retirement. The part that I'm dislike about the FIRE movement is retire early. Now, if you think I'm crazy around this, leave me a comment below. I'd love to hear some other people's opinion on this, but I'm going to show you this video.
I never asked. I always thought that reaching financial independence and leaving my 9-to-5 would be the cure to all my problems. I left my day job at 24 thinking that now that I had some level of financial independence, I would finally be free to travel, discover myself, explore new hobbies, sleep in till 10 a.m. on a Wednesday just because I can. But what ended up happening is I just played a lot more video games. Like a lot more. But now, 4 years later, I wake up at like 5:30 a.m. and I'm actually trying to work more, and it's not for money. So did FIRE work? My goal from the...
That's really interesting. That's a really interesting perspective. You have financial freedom, you've retired early, and what do you do with the extra time? Now, I'm reading a really good book at the moment called Just Keep Buying, and I want to share this story from you with the book. This is someone from Terrence, and this is a passage from the book that I want to share with you. Terrence reached out to me on Twitter to describe his experience around the FIRE movement. Terrence had retired 2 years earlier and was now traveling the world living out of Airbnbs for 3 months at a time. Sounds like a pretty glorious lifestyle if you ask me. Though his lifestyle would be considered glamorous to many, Terrence described his life as lonely existence that ultimately wouldn't work for most people. He concluded, embracing a nomadic FIRE lifestyle means accepting that you are no longer relevant or important, and in some ways now operate in an ether between existence and non-existence. So I think the retire early part should be changed. I think that the slogan should be financial independence, freedom. FIF. That's my proposal. Because retiring early, sometimes when you work, you get a lot of fulfillment from your work. You might be very important at your work. You get a sense of duty. You get a sense of belonging. You get a sense of importance. And using your newfound financial well-being from the financial independence side of the equation to then decide that you're going to retire early, I think that you want the freedom to be able to choose what you want to do, to choose to keep working if you would like to, or to choose to use your time in studying things that interest you, or to donate your time to charities and things like that. But to me, that's having the freedom, having the financial base and the financial knowledge, the financial assets behind you to have that freedom to make the choice. I don't think necessarily retiring early is always the answer for people. I think I would lose my mind retiring early. Let me know if you think I'm crazy and you would love to retire early. But for me, if you get a lot of fulfillment from your job, so I really enjoy my job. I work in tax, very, very complex, very, very boring to a lot of people, but very, very complex and challenging. And I get a lot of fulfillment from my job. And I'm on the road to financial independence. I'm on the road to building my wealth. But for me, I'd never ever even thought about, I would like to do that to necessarily retire and do nothing. I think what you would want, and what the expression should be changed to, is financial independence, freedom, FIFE. Having the freedom to choose what you want to do. Have the freedom to spend your time how you would like to spend your time. Retiring early doesn't always have a really good consequence, because then you're just doing nothing. And for me, that would send me crazy. I think I would go absolutely crazy around that. So let me know what you think in the comments. If you think I'm a bit nuts and that retiring early, living the dream, that is the true goal of the FIRE movement. And head over to my YouTube channel. I'll do a whole bunch of videos teaching you how to invest, teaching you how to save money, with the goal to build wealth to give you more freedom to make choice. Thanks for